I want to talk about a couple more quick points here. So the first one, he says quick, I don't do anything really quick, but the first one is the 25 ways to manifest more. And this is, again, a deceptively simple, but very powerful exercise. See, again, oftentimes we think there's only one or two or three ways, and we collapse this infinite organizing power of the universe and these infinite channels into one or two. And we also collapse the channel of our mind, which is a very, very important flow of energy. And we collapse it into one little narrow myopic vision of what's possible. And all of this infinity back of us can't flow. It can't get out of us, right? So, and we just haven't learned and conditioned ourselves to be fluent with our thinking and our ideas. So this is a simple practice. You literally write a list, and let's say you want to manifest, we're going to talk about this more when we talk about in the fourth video, the 40-day money miracle goal. Let's say you want to manifest a certain amount of money, and you think, well, I'm at a job, so there's my one way to do it. So instead you go, okay, what's another way? What's another way? I could sell my kidneys, whatever. It might be some really crazy stuff. You can be crazy. I can, sell my kids, but whatever it is, I could sell some stuff I don't really use. I could do that gift about giving away stuff and put all that on eBay, and there I just made $5,000. And you hadn't even thought of that. You're like, wow, because you were thinking you were going to read those magazines one day and you're never going to. Again, I got to tell you. So, but you start to come up with these ideas. So you start writing, and if you can only do 5, don't do 25, do 30. And so you got to do it. It's a practice, and if it's hard, that's a good sign, because it means it's a muscle you have a lot of room to grow in. So you start to make this list, right? Now what starts to happen as you get down the list is these ideas start mating with each other and giving birth to the children of new ideas, things you had never even thought about. But what's really happening is the aperture of your mind is opening up, and you're beginning to become aware. You're beginning to think a little bit more like God, a little bit more like the universe. And by the way, God, not a man on a cloud with a white beard, but a presence, a principle that's within you, that's governing all of this. You begin to tap into that mind a little more and just see the wider vista of possibilities. And suddenly 1 or 2 or 3 has this luminosity around it, and you're like, I can do that. Wow, I never even thought of that. And most people never give themselves this space to open up, to discover these inspired ideas and this compelling right action. So do this. Pick something you're working on and create these 25 ways to manifest more. And play with it, have fun with it. It expands the fluency of your thinking. It expands the energy of your thought, your thought energy. And it will activate this infinite organizing power in your life in ways that are really, really amazing. One final thing I want to just touch upon here. You're learning a lot of really powerful principles and some practices, some very practical stuff you can do, and some very, very high-level principles and theoretical constructs, and that's wonderful and necessary. But the real open secret to long-term success is not how much information you have, but how much transformation you have. And the way to get that is you have to turn all this ultimately into a way of life. It can't just be a temporary high. You're like, wow, this is great, this is awesome, and you try it here and there, do it a couple times, or think about it and dream about it. If you could know everything about broccoli, but if you don't eat it on a regular basis, it does you no good. You could write books and theses on it, but if you haven't designed a way of life that includes it as a regular part of it, it doesn't do any good to you, okay? So the big open secret is that we have to take these principles and practices and begin to redesign our life to be in harmony with it, to be congruent with it. And we have to not just be interested in this better life, we have to be committed to it. We have to be all in. I mean, let me say something. Again, I said, your life you're living right now, it's been built on your commitment to whatever level you're at. I know you might be thinking, no, I want something more. You may want something more, but you aren't necessarily committed. You aren't all in, because you have to have that. It's like the example when the ships arrived on the shore for this military battle, and it was a suicide mission, and the captain basically had all the ships burnt on the shore. So they told the soldiers, look back, all the ships are burning. Now there's no way off the island. There's only a way forward. No way back. You either win it or you die. And they won it. Now, we have to think in that terms. We have to make a real commitment. It's like the joke, the chicken and the egg and the chicken and the pig. And they're walking down the street and the chicken's like, oh my God, look at our name is finally, we've made it. Our name is up in lights. And they look up and the pig looks up and it says, ham and eggs. And the chicken's like, wow, we finally made it, huh? And the pig's like, I don't know about you, man. That's, a contribution, but for me, that's full commitment, right? So the chicken just gives an egg, the pig has to give its life. And we have to have that level of commitment. We don't have to know all the answers yet. We just have to make a decision, which means to cut away from our previous life and say, I'm gonna make this work. I'm all in. I'm all in. Okay, so that's the first step. The second thing is then we have to begin to build these structures, because right now you have a life full of habits that are automatic and subjective, mental, emotional, physical ones, and they've created your life and they keep you locked in it. We often think that conditions determine our destiny. They don't. Not your karma, not your conditions. It is your character that determines your destiny. Character means the etch of God on your soul. That's what determines your destiny. Well, what determines your character? Your habits. As Confucius said, all men are alike, but it is their habits that separate them. And what determines your habits? Your focus, your belief, your commitment. So when you commit to this journey of awakened wealth and learn to develop these habits until they become a way of life, it transforms your character and it assures a brighter destiny. Or really, I should say, for you to fulfill your deepest and truest destiny. And so it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you're struggling through or growing through. When you understand this piece and you begin to organize your life around it, you can and will rise above the challenges. Life will no longer become just a problem to solve, but a great adventure to live. And you will have so much more to give. And we're going to talk much more about that in the final video, about how you do this, how you put all this together to build a awakened wealth way of life, and ultimately put that abundance and success on autopilot. So again, right now, I want you to be an awakened wealth warrior. Don't just listen to this and put it on a shelf somewhere and get a little shelf help, make your shelf look nicer, but actually do something. Take an action. Choose one of these awakened wealth, wealth activators, or what also called the 7 gifts, and put it into practice. And again, share it with somebody, teach it to someone, and you'll begin to activate it, you'll begin to embody and integrate it, and you'll begin to circulate more of this essential energy that becomes the abundance of your life. So comment below what you're learning, comment below what gift you're going to work with, ask questions, get engaged. Remember, you can only get out of something what you put in. So be all in, make that commitment to yourself, say yes to your yes. And coming up in the next video, we're going to talk about the real reason why we earn what we do and not a penny more. And we're going to go a little deeper into the secret of infinite organizing power and why it's a gateway to unlimited abundance. We're going to talk about a law that you must align yourself with, in fact, to create the flow. But when people don't understand this, even when they've done everything we've talked about so far, they're doing all these things to open up their channels. If you don't understand this law, the world will seem like it closes its door on you and the things won't flow. We're also going to talk about a shocking study that's going to forever change the way you look at clients, at family members, at anybody you interact with. It's a game changer. And then we're going to dive in a little bit into how now practically do you ask for what you really want? How do you practically charge what you're really worth? Whether it's asking for a raise or raising your rates. And do it all without shame, without guilt, without apology. How would you like to be able to do that? So I hope this has served you. I hope you're feeling inspired, motivated, energized. I hope there's more flow of energy in your life right now because of this. Please comment below, take some action, share this with somebody, share the link, teach it to somebody, have fun. And until next time, remember to live authentically love unconditionally, and follow your destiny.